episode 8 of the Falls on a Hill podcast. I, as always, am your host Cal, and I am joined today by Liam. How are you?
Hello, Callum.
Smug. I'm also joined by Yanni. How are you, pal?
I, as always, am here.
You are.
Sadly.
How's our week been, boys?
An absolute nightmare, really.
Splendulous. What does
heard that word
Chris
before.
Eubank say when he's at like Wimbledon?
Stupendous.
Stupendous. That's what I was trying to go for. Stupendous. That's how it's been. It's been good. It's been good. Just listened to some good music this week.
Debatable.
Well, one in particular.
Some,
one in particular
yes.
is what I mean.
Nah, there's been a few good ones, but you know.
Nah. How's your week been, Callum?
Jolly good, thank you. I feel like I've not stopped thinking about the podcast because
Yeah.
we've
You
now
haven't had a
moved.
chance to.
We've now moved on to YouTube, guys.
What?
What?
Oh my days.
That wasn't even planned, but that worked out very well.
Said away.
So yesterday I was literally editing more than I was breathing. We've put all the previous podcasts on YouTube, but they're just audio because although we've said we're trying to do visual stuff, that's just not
It's not happening.
We've go on.
Should we take them through what our plans are for the visual
Go
side
on,
of
Yanni.
things?
Don't
I've
give
still
too
got
much
you
away.
here, so you take them through.
Yeah, well, I'm going to keep
Keep it
bits of
vague.
this as a surprise. I'll give it a go, thanks, Liam. I'll see if I can speak. It's going to start off. By this time, you should hopefully already see the first video, actual video.
We're all waiting on Liam, so that depends on him.
Yes, but it
And
should
me.
be up
I've got a
yesterday.
little clip. Let us know if the animation's good. If not, then
It
direct
is.
your hatred towards Liam because we have nothing to do with that.
It's taken me hours so
Um,
far, and it will take me many more hours until it's done. So please
But
be kind.
it's going to be a visual of Under the Needle, and that's essentially what we're going to carry on doing for the rest of our lives. Because we've realised that just telling you we bought a pink vinyl, for example, isn't that interesting unless you can actually see it. And
Yes.
we want to branch out to the visual side, so that's the perfect one. This Sunday, when it was released, yesterday, it's going to be a bit different. It's just our collection that we've had from Christmas up until this Thursday,
Yes.
the 21st, as of the time of recording this podcast, but don't let that confuse you.
Please don't.
Every other week after this will be just weekly, like you'll hear about on the actual podcast. So you'll see those videos before this is released, and we'll direct you to the video in case you forget.
Of course.
Although
we
you
won't.
shouldn't, because you must remember to like, subscribe, and ding
Smash.
that bell.
Smash that bell.
And then you'll be notified whenever we upload a video. Like we said, all the previous podcasts are up there. They're all just audio, like Carl said, because we never had the facility to record video, and we won't be recording the podcasts, our standard ones or weekly ones, as videos. It'll only be for like special occasions, such as when we're all together, if that can happen.
Be nice if we could see each other again.
Yeah.
one day in our lives.
Yeah, it would be. We've got a couple of ideas. Hopefully, when we can see each other, we're going to be telling you about our previous experiences at gigs, as well as...
We're going to do little vlogs, aren't we? Little vlogs.
If we can actually go to gigs again, then we will be making our own vlogs, and you'll
Mhm.
see that as well. I don't really want to give away too much. But
Another thing I thought we could do, I can't remember if we discussed this, but like with the latest Bombay Bicycle Club album, for example, we all have that vinyl, and I thought we could do like an in-depth dive into like the actual pressing of it as opposed to the album itself, because we all rave about how good the pressing is. So I thought we could go more in depth in specific albums. That could be quite cool.
let us know if that sounds interesting to you. If it doesn't, then don't speak to us, please.
Yes.
We only like positive feedback here. Keep the vibes high, I suppose. Vibes checked. And yeah, well, we're not going to ruin any more of it. You'll see it when it's released, but you will be told on the pods. So don't go
Yes.
anywhere. And follow us everywhere, but we'll get to that anyway. So I think that's enough for the intro. I'd say it's about time that we get to the story. And does anyone know What's the story?
The story, Yanni, this week.
Come on, Father.
From the top. Was it last week we had
Make it
some?
drop. That's some wet ass.
And on that same vein, record producer
Mainline it.
Phil Spector. Oh god, this isn't set up right. Doesn't feel
Why'd
right.
you laugh?
Because you
You laugh
started
at
singing
awkward
WAP. I don't know what else to do. Phil Spector's
on.
died this week. Very well-known record producer. A lot of big names. I guess a big influence in the industry. Also a murderer.
Mhm.
Convicted. So we're not going to sit too long on this one. I personally couldn't tell you really anything he's been involved with, but I know that he's a big name.
John Lennon, a lot of John Lennon stuff. Worked with a lot of the like Let It Be tracks as well on there. Yeah. So, but from what I know, a lot of people who like John and all the Beatles lot who did work with him say he was a pain in the arse. But yeah, he's a murderer, so
Yes.
irredeemable in my eyes.
Exactly. So
Because people can't change. Okay.
at some point he did some good work. Hasn't done any good work for a long time.
Apart from no, I can't say that.
no, you can't say that. Anyway, he's
I
dead.
can't say
He's
that.
dead now. So you know,
Is he dead?
hopefully there's some
Your friend is dead.
some consolation or something. Is that the right word to the lady's family?
Consolations.
I think it was killed.
You are a radar detector.
And yes,
Next news.
next one.
On a happier note.
Next one. Callum, you talk first one because I don't know what this means. There's too many words in this that just mean nothing to me.
I also don't really know what this means, but I believe that the Wombats song Greek Tragedy has become somewhat of a TikTok.
Sensation.
Yes. I don't know what the word is.
Phenomenon.
Hit.
Yeah. It's shite that people do the same thing to over and over again, which, you know, is apparently entertaining.
Mm.
And the Wombats have apparently released the actual Oliver Nelson TikTok Tonight version on Spotify.
Who is Oliver Nelson?
I don't know.
Is he a TikToker?
I don't know.
Colin,
I
you
thought this
didn't
was
know.
news.
That's good.
Well, it was trying to be
Down with the
trying to
kids.
down with the kids. Yeah. I'm 23 years of age. I have no right to be on TikTok.
That's a very good point. I stand by that. Wombats, I think, who was it? Colin, you mentioned earlier, trying to just grasp onto that last shred of relevance. I mean, whatever.
I liked them
Good luck
back
to
in the
them.
day.
Yeah.
They were great back in the day.
Great Liverpool band.
Ironically, I've not liked a song since Greek Tragedy, and now this TikTok version has come out.
You
So
don't
it's
like this one
ruined that
anymore.
as well.
Well, I've heard it a lot because Karis is quite often on TikTok.
From what I understand, the Pavement song "Harness Your Hopes" is somewhat popular on TikTok.
Yeah, so's "Where Is My Mind" by the Pixies.
So that's a
Is
new
TikTok-
generation of teenagers discovering Fight Club. That's what that is. Happens.
Yeah.
Every year.
TikTok is here to ruin all the best songs.
Yes,
So
it is. You heard it here first. Next up, a few album.
Don't ask me about this.
I mean, did you write this or did you? I'm confused where
What, the
this came
Dominic
from.
Fike
Yeah,
one?
confused where this came from.
happy birthday to Dominic Fike. He's 2 years old.
Right, so we're on to, I think, well, this one is an album announcement, but Dominic Fike put a video up on Instagram with him smashing a pinata of the number 2 and put
Yeah.
something.
Is it possibly a second album? I don't know if
Something-
he has more than one album.
No, so he has one album out at the moment called "What Else Could Go Wrong," something like that. I'm paraphrasing. It's something along this.
Everything else.
What could possibly go wrong? Maybe it's something like that. So he put this post up on Instagram and just put "What's next" and a silver medal, and it's a little video of him hitting a 2 pinata with a song in the background. You know, like a 30-second clip. Sounds quite good. I quite like Dominic Fike. I was a bit disappointed by his album. I liked his EP before it and a few singles and stuff. But the song in the background of this video sounds quite good to my ears. Sounds a bit more like his EP, which is called Some Thank You, or something like that.
Sounds like you know.
It's called something like that. I'm going to search in the background while I'm going to the next one, which is a proper
Okay.
album announcement.
Yep.
Callum, do you want to take the floor?
Further news that I can't imagine any of us really know anything about. But Tom Jones has announced his new album, Surrounded by Time, is coming out on April 23rd. So that's something for us Welchies to look forward to.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Correct, Mundo. Also a new track with this, which we'll talk about shortly.
Yep. Another bit of news to behold is that Weezer have announced their second album of the year, but it's coming before the one that they'd already announced.
Wow.
This new one is called OK Human, and it's to be released on January 20th.
It's quite soon now.
Is that
actually.
just
I mean, that's not-
is that just a
OK
a
Computer?
play on OK Computer? Yeah.
100%.
Well, their other album's
Yeah.
called Van Weezer, which is like
Brilliant.
Van
yeah,
Halen.
so, so that's going to be like more of a Rocky sound.
Jesus.
Not Rocky the film. I'm sure you got that. But more
Eye
Rocky
of the Tiger.
inspired
On
sound.
repeat.
So Van Weezer's still coming out on May the 7th.
Oh, thank God.
Don't panic just
But do you
yet.
know what I think would be the best scenario here?
They both
they don't
didn't
release
get
They
either
just
of
cancel both of them. Yeah. Stop making music forever. They should do more cover albums like the Teal album. That was quite good. There's some good
That was
covers
alright,
on
yeah.
there.
Mm.
Or they should have just stopped in 95 when they released Pinkerton. 95, 96 maybe.
No, you can't say that. There's been Pork and Beans is a good song.
Okay, well, it's the green. So what's that? The third album. Okay, so they should have done. They should have done the Blue album. Should have done Pinkerton, and then just a best of of
No, they're best of,
future
yeah.
songs, basically. Yeah. Pork and Beans, all those lovely tracks.
Holiday.
Yeah, Beverly Hills, all those
That's where I want to be.
hash vibe. Yeah, all the good ones. I'm not excited for these.
No.
Great.
My excitement has dwindled even since hearing the first track that they've released from it.
Yes, we will.
And my excitement
about
was already on the floor.
We will talk about that shortly. They Rivers Cuomo just needs to stop.
He's got the magic in him.
Wonderful. Next up, our last bit of news. I just want to quickly say that EP was called "Don't Forget About Me" by Dominic Fike. I did check out. Funnily enough, our last bit of news here.
You missed one. You've missed one.
You've missed one.
Just read above it. I just moved it because it's another album announcement.
Royal Blood have announced their third
that's
album,
not updated on mine.
Typhoons. I'll do it, mate.
Sorry.
It's all right. To be released April 30th. Alongside that, they've also released a song of the same title, which we will shortly be discussing with you. That's enough said about that, really. And
You don't want to give it too much airtime.
no, the final bit of news. Cries all around. Glastonbury been
Tears.
cancelled.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not really fussed. It's probably for the best, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
A field full of people
selfish.
isn't really the safest thing.
Probably a good idea. They so this is for people that bought tickets because there was a thing that came out saying if you bought tickets,
It's only cancelled for them. Everyone who watched it on telly, it's not.
mid sentence. So they put a statement out saying that for anyone that bought tickets in October of 2019, your tickets will still be valid. And that reminded me that I actually tried to buy tickets in October of 19
Yeah, so did
for
I.
2020 and didn't get them. So I don't really care. I'm fuck them all. I don't want to go anymore. Anyway.
Everyone who I was gonna go with, I told them about 40 times to put their ID online and put their picture on, and then when the day came, none of them had. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh well.
Well, I was
Good job you're not salty about it.
I
though.
was prepared,
No, I'm not.
but just didn't get tickets, which was
I don't believe you were prepared for one second.
I had multiple computers and phones and so much going on.
Wow. First world problems, eh?
First world problems. But that's our last bit of news. So sorry to anyone that was supposed to go to Glastonbury for the last 6 years or whatever. You're gonna have to wait another 6 probably, to be honest.
It's alright. BBC Three will have us covered, as always.
Yeah, we'll see all the highlights on there.
We'll get to see that Arctic Monkeys 2013 set again.
on the blue button. Yeah, the good old. Oh yeah, that's a good set. To be fair.
It was a very good set.
It was.
Aye. Talking about good sets. I think what have we got up next here, Yanni?
Don't know, but I can feel it burning already.
Would you say
It's almost hot. That's how I describe it, Liam. But how else would you describe this?
I'd
next
say
segment?
it's hot off the press. Gallum! Is it hot?
Alright, mate.
Is it hot, mate?
Do you know what, mate? My spare ribs are scorching.
Oh, what was that noise?
That's me.
What was the noise? I don't know. I didn't hear a noise.
It's excitable.
Oh, I
that
think
was
it
an
was
excitable noise.
Liam's mouth. Liam's belly just.
Yeah, so I listened to Spare Ribs by Sleaford Mods this week. I've tried many times to get into Sleaford Mods in the past, and I've only ever really got into the odd single, never really got into any albums. However, that has changed with this album.
Ooh.
I don't know if either of you have listened to it. I can't imagine Yanni has. No, he's not. He's shaking
Of course,
his
Yanni
head.
hasn't.
But yeah, this is by far and away my favourite collective work from Sleaford Mods. I think the lyrics are always very on the nose with Sleaford Mods, and they're delivered in a very humorous and poignant way. One of my favourite lyrics, well, I can't remember one of my favourite lyrics because it was on Elocution, but he called someone a wanker. It made me laugh. But on The New Brick, Jason Williamson, the lead singer, says, "We're all so Tory tired." And isn't that true?
Bloody hell, that is.
Isn't that
bang
very
on.
true?
Well, if you're a Tory, no.
I think they probably are at this point.
This album was recorded in a 3-week period after Lockdown 1, which feels like it was about 5 years ago at this point. A slight downfall of the album is that I think, well, they have quite a generic, not a generic style, but their style kind of remains the same throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was quite samey, the album, but it was great nonetheless. My favourite tracks are Shortcomings, Nudge It, which is my favourite track Sleaford Mods have probably ever done. Maybe since Jobseeker and Ibiza Feat the Prodigy. Anyway, Elocution, Top Room, Mork and Mindy, and I Don't Rate You are also my top tracks. I think it's a very good album if you want a nice social commentary from the shit show that is living in the United Kingdom currently.
Yes.
This might be the album for you. And that is why I'm giving it a very lovely 4 stars out of 5.
Oh
Yeah.
my lord.
Beautiful.
Liam,
nice.
what did you think of the album, my son?
So, I've never really been into Sleaford Mods. Probably like you, Callum. Maybe pounced off them a bit more. The singles running up to this, didn't really get into any of them apart from Nudge It, which I'll come back to. And listen to it in full. I can appreciate it as a body of work, and the wordplay and stuff. It's not really wordplay because it's pretty just like, you're all wankers, basically. It's true most of the time. But what he's saying is spot on, I guess, and quite humorous in spots. I think musically is where it falls down. It's not that I don't like it. They're two very kind of basic kind of styles that together just seems too basic. So yeah, nothing really shone for me throughout, but Nudge It with Amy Taylor is incredible. I actually think that's really good. Definitely the best off this album. One of the best songs so far of 2021. And that has a bit more musically as well. I feel like there's just a bit more like bass in there. It keeps it going a bit more, and a bit more variability throughout the track. Variation. Thank you, Yanni. Keep me saying that. And Amy Taylor sounds great on it as well. So yeah, I'd say I love Nudge It. The rest of the album is fine. I just don't think they're for me, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. They are very love them or hate them.
Marmite.
Yeah, there's definitely no in between, I think. But
yes,
there we are.
Very good.
I'm a fan.
Thank you, Colin.
I like the album. 4 out of 5 if you're listening. Sleaford Mods.
Solid. 4 out of 5.
You lucky sods.
Well, they might be. Who knows? Probably not.
Yeah, they might be. They might be. Very good.
Liam.
Whoa, that was peaky.
That was peaky.
Blinders? Liam, please, I'm interested in your life and particularly what
Where do you
you
want me to start?
listened to this week.
Okay, so I listened to the album Cheetah, and that's not the animal cheetah. That's a member of a couple that is rife infidelity. I couldn't put my words together then.
Rife
Is
infidelity.
infidel?
Brilliant.
Is that what you say?
No.
No, that's not. Is
Infidelity was right.
No, but
Moving on.
could you say someone is infidelity? What's the right word there? Anyway.
Someone is a cheater.
Ah,
There you
perfect. Cheetah by Pompoko. This is the sophomore album from Pompoko, a Norway band. Sophomore means second, yeah? Let me just double check that.
Yes.
Second, great. I think I did that on my...
You did.
Yeah. I hadn't heard of them before this album. I had heard one of the songs, just randomly. I actually think
You liar.
it was while we were doing the podcast and we missed it off, and I guess we never covered it again. That was a song Like a Lady. But I very much enjoyed this album. I think it's a very interesting album. Very interesting sonics throughout, kind of heavy in some parts, and then there's kind of some space and lightness, I guess. A kind of like Pixies, quiet, loud, quiet, or loud, quiet, loud, whatever it's thing.
Lots of dynamic range, would you say?
Dynamic range, yeah. It hits you and then it just steps back without you
doesn't.
realising. Yeah, exactly. I love good guitar work and bass sounds and riffs used throughout. There's a lot going on in some places, but it never seems too hectic, and it's always kind of balanced out by the quieter moments. The singer's voice, talking of Marmite, I would say could be like Marmite for some people, but I really loved it. Female singer, very kind of high register, and that kind of Scandinavian sound, I'd say. I've nothing to base that on.
Yes.
But
that infamous Scandinavian sound.
yeah, I feel like most bands from Scandinavia often have a similar voice. But I love it. You have songs like Baroque. How would you pronounce that? I don't know.
Barocca.
No, not Barocca.
Baroque, innit?
Like the Baroque period. I'd say Baroque.
Barack
Yeah,
Obama.
It's definitely not Baroque.
Baroque. Song Baroque Denial. I think vocally and the melody and the vocals could definitely be like a pop song. But there's some very cool stuff with the guitar and bass going on that makes it very much not a pop song. So it's quite interesting. Top tracks, I'd say Like a Lady, Danger Baby, Curly Romance. All good names as well for songs.
That's what I call you, isn't it?
Yeah,
Curly Romance.
Curly Romance. And I call you Danger Baby. I would say Callum's Like a Lady sometimes.
Thanks.
Yeah, but the whole album,
Perfect.
I do quite like all the songs. I think the song Body Level is a great way to finish the album off as well. On their Spotify, it mentions that they had jazz school, like, do you know, in like the About section on Spotify, so they had jazz school training, which I didn't look any more into, but kind of makes sense.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
Glad you made that point, yeah.
Good journalism.
Real benefit to this conversation.
But I think it that makes sense, and it also described their sound as sugary and explosive, which again makes absolute sense. And it's inspired by math rock, post-punk, West African music, and weird pop bands. Again, agree with all that.
What's a weird pop band? Define a weird
I
pop
think it
Give me an
name
example.
checked. It actually said like Deer Hunter, I think. I didn't include. Sorry, Deer Hoof.
Deer
Who I've not. Deer Hoof. Who I've not listened to, but I might listen to Deer Hoof. Actually, that sounds like a cool name for a band. But yeah, very unique band. Definitely. Oh, I'm apparently playing some Deer Hoof in the background. That drum.
No, don't do that.
By accident. The drum beat sounded quite good actually, so I might have yeah, very unique band. I'm really looking forward to hearing more from them, and I will certainly be going back to their first album. And for me, it's a solid 4 out of 5.
Bloody
I don't really have
hell.
much to negative to say about it. It just doesn't
Well, that's a good sign.
quite cut the 100%
Hit the butter.
marker.
Doesn't butter the biscuit.
But solid 4 out of 5. Did either of you listen to this
Wowzers.
at all?
Absolutely not. Of course I didn't.
Great.
I did on the way to Tesco,
Mm-hmm.
but I found it was quite forgettable. I don't remember listening to anything after Danger Baby.
On the way to Tesco, isn't that a Sleaford Mods song?
Yeah, I don't remember listening to anything after Danger Baby, but I definitely did.
That's good.
So I think
Wow.
that says a lot about my
Thanks,
thoughts on the album. But I really liked Like a Lady, Andrew, Mr. Candidacy. Is that
Yeah, I
what
think
you
it's
say that?
candidacy. Yeah, my
And
candidacy.
Danger Baby. Oh, is it mine? I've written Mr.
My
here.
candidacy.
Mr. Candidacy. And I like Danger Baby as well, but
it took a few listens for me to kind of
I
break
think
tracks up and make sense in my head a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that the vocals were a bit Marmite and they were a bit hard to grasp.
Yeah, I think it helped that the first single I heard was Like a Lady, which is probably it kind of throws you in the deep end of that, like high vocals. And I like that straight away, so I kind of just got used to it.
I think I remember listening to that, but I wasn't that keen. But I liked it in terms of the album. So that says if I carried on listening, I'd probably like them more.
Cool. Did you say you listened to a track, Yanni, that you liked?
I listened to one, but you've got about as much luck as I do with remembering which one I actually listened to. I think I enjoyed the music, but again wasn't too keen on the vocal aspect of it. But my opinion means fuck all. It
does. And on that, Yanni, your opinion, please, on your album of the week. What is it?
Of course. It is Painting the Roses by Midnight Sister. This one, I'll just go through it, just give you a little bit of taste, guys. Yeah. Soul, disco, pop style, all genres that I'm just naming. Every now and then, it has like a mellotron instrument being played at some points, and for me in my brain, that's hard to separate from the Beatles. So anytime I hear a mellotron being played, I'm like, oh, I'm listening to the Beatles, obviously.
Famously the only band to use a mellotron.
Famously. I really liked the music in pretty much all the tracks. The vocals I wasn't that keen on. It was a bit too like that. Kind of like, I don't know how to... bottom of your mouth, kind of like, I don't know, it just didn't really gel with me.
One more time.
No, I really like the solo section. I'll call it solo section because it was like different parts. It wasn't just like a guitar solo. In Satellite, there was like reverse guitar and like lots of weirder instrumental choices that were put in. Most of it was quite funky, quite upbeat. The only song that really threw me by surprise, which I mentioned before we started recording, was My Elevator Song. It's extremely...
Song.
Sorry?
Carry on.
Okay.
I got it.
Gets really odd in comparison to the rest of the album. It's very strange and almost scary. With like
That's
the first
positive.
couple of the pattern that it has, and then it just gets even weirder later on. So a very odd song. Standout tracks for me, Foxes. I really like the vocals on that. Even though I said that the vocals didn't really gel with me, there was more going on background wise that I did like. And Limousine, it was really funky. And I thought, was just funky. Love the vibes, bro. That was my note on that. So yeah, I wasn't really expecting much because I've literally never heard of this group before, this duo. From what I gather, it's a duo. But it was very good. I've really enjoyed it, and I'd recommend that you give it a listen. I would rate it 3 out of 5, and that's only because I've only had half an hour to essentially listen to this album, and I feel like I might like it more, but I don't know. I also feel like I won't be coming back to it, but it's still good. The music is very, very good, but yeah, like I said, the vocals just didn't really do a lot for me. But yeah, did you listen to this at all, anyone?
No.
I did. I only listened to it today, and I very much enjoyed it. I wasn't paying particular attention to it. I was working as well at the same time, which I wasn't paying particular attention to that either. I was just mostly staring at the wall. But
typical day.
Yeah, it's my day. But yeah, I thought it sounded funky. It sounded weird in places, unusual. Like it took you in like ways that I wouldn't expect. Quite liked it vocally, I think. It was one that I only listened to today, and I knew I wouldn't get a chance to listen to it again today. So I'd only have one listen essentially, but I am planning on listening to it again because I did enjoy it, to be fair. I think it's definitely worth a listen for anyone listening. I think 3 out of 5.
Thank you.
I think 3 out of 5 is definitely fair for only a listen.
Yeah,
I could see that improving, personally.
I listened to one of them earlier on, like on my lunch, and I think that was the opener, which I did like. But yeah, like the first half, I'd say I preferred to the second half, definitely overall. Yeah, Doctor Says, that was the first one I listened to, and I like that. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I had more time in my life, guys, but unfortunately I don't. But it was still enjoyable nonetheless, and that was a surprise because this was a very last-minute choice. So I'm glad it was this rather than
your other choices.
Yumi at 6. It very almost was.
So if you want our review on Yumi at 6, we don't care enough to listen to it. So there's our review.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Yanni, very much for that.
You're very welcome. Now we're gonna move on to the singles of the week. Starting off with a new KSI track featuring Anne-Marie and Digital Farm Animals called "Don't Play." It's decent, I suppose, for the genre. It's not as good as the one Craig David. Hands down, that is the best thing KSI has been on. Besides, like,
Lamborghini.
The Gift. No, The Gift that they released for the Sidemen, like, Christmas special. And what's the a diss track?
Jamie.
Oh, Pull Up. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Pull Up's a tune.
Yeah, but I mean, Jamie makes that song, doesn't he?
He does.
So he makes every song he's on. Anyway, yeah, that was good. Did you guys like it as well, the song Don't Play?
Yep, it's not my genre, as I'm sure everyone knows. But I genuinely think it is very good. I think there's always a danger, because growing up, I was a big KSI fan. So I sometimes feel like my childhood kind of plays a part in my opinion of his music. But I genuinely think it's quite good. I think he's definitely becoming a better rapper.
Well, on that, I was going to say that he's suiting the styles that aren't rap.
Yeah,
more so than his actual rap
more
stuff
pop.
that he does.
The pop tunes are better than like the grime-esque tunes from his album.
He's suiting these styles more than he is his own, essentially. But
I think he's releasing another album this year, and I can imagine it'll go more down this route because it's definitely
more
chart
successful.
Success. Yeah, English. I'm very
better success.
Liam, you've not said much.
I've listened to it.
Can I just quickly say sorry, Liam? You're very loud. Just move back ever so slightly.
Sincerest apologies, sir. Are we okay? I would say I've only listened to it once. I quite like the instrumental. I thought it's the best I've heard of KSI. From what I've very little listened to him, he didn't sound like KSI rapping. KSI rapping. It sounded like a rapper, if that makes sense. It sounded more professional.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I do know.
Yeah. So,
he does know what you mean. He does know.
Thank you. So yeah, the best I've heard of him. I had a good garage beat, old school garage beat, which I appreciated.
Yes.
Yes, it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
Talking of old school. Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, did you listen to the one he did with Craig David? I'm pointing behind me every time I say that. Did you listen to that?
Oh yeah. No, I did. We did it for this, and I think I liked it, but I haven't listened to it again since.
Anyway,
Talking
Jones?
of old school. Tom Jones.
Yeah, baby.
As we previously alluded to, he has announced a new album, and the lead single, I believe, from this is Talking Reality Television Blues. Anyone listen to it?
Nope.
Yep.
Liam?
I actually really liked it.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was really good.
I don't know whether it was ironic or not, but I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
I don't think it was
I was kind of listening to thinking like, I listened to like basically an old man singing about reality TV. And it was like, it's spoken word, isn't it? It's called Talking Blues, basically. So it's kind of like, is this actually good? And I was like, no, this is really good. I'm really enjoying it. Instrumentally, it was very good as well. And yeah, I think what he was talking about and the way he sounded was très bien.
Yeah, instrumentally, it sounded very modern. Like, I was not expecting the sound that came out of it to come out of it. But
okay, wow. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I'm listening to it now. This is not what I expected.
I'm interested to know who did the guitar work, if it's anyone known.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like sometimes... I felt like a bit when I was listening to it a few times that we're missing... He's got a great voice. I missed a bit of it. It would have been nice if like maybe the chorus was a bit sung to like break it up. But I think overall... It's good.
Yeah, I think
I really liked it.
Lyrically, it might have been a bit on the nose at points, but I've only listened to it once, so maybe it was just me. Maybe I was thinking too much about it. Because when it started, I was just saying when it started, and I've kind of realised what it was and what it was about. I was expecting worse, and so I think I had set myself up for that. But I think it was actually really good.
Yeah, I think it was really good.
Yeah.
On with two choices here, which one would you pick? So it's unusual or it's not unusual?
What, for this song?
Yes.
I would say it's unusual.
There we go.
But it's not unusual to
be loved by anyone.
That's true. I just want to say one more thing on this, which was...
Absolutely not.
It was still quite old bluesy style as well, which is nice. I don't feel like there's been very little new blues music from what I've heard.
Well,
anyway.
Have you been looking for new
I haven't been looking for new blues music. I'm sure there is, especially in the years that have been before us. I'm sure some people have been writing the blues, but writing the blues. Thank you, Tom Jones, for soundtracking our lives. Next up, we have
Wales.
We have Leeds band Yard Act and their new single Dark Days.
You what?
Yanni, have you listened to this?
Yeah, before we started recording, I just said that I quickly gave this a listen, and it was very good from the snippet I heard. I don't think I've not been massively attached to them. Like, I've not grown to love them as much as you two have, as instantly as you did. But I will go back and listen to it, because this is the whole EP's been released now, isn't it?
No, it's just the way some bands do this on Spotify now or whatever, where they just release them all as together in one. The latest single has the previous singles with them.
The lead singer has said that now this is the final single before they start work on their album. So none of these will be on an album, which makes me very sad about the fact that I've not got any of the vinyl, particularly one with Fixer Upper on, because that is my favourite. Spoiler.
It's a shame.
But I've got to say, I love this band. I've not been this excited or like attached to a band who have like this small amount of songs released for some time. Like, I'm very excited to see what more they do.
I'm actually very happy that did they definitely say that none of these songs will be on the album, or have you just kind of extrapolated that?
No, I read that somewhere.
Well, I think that's great, because I'm looking forward to like 10 brand new songs from them, hopefully.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
But yeah, I think Dark Days is great. I think it's their most kind of conventional, that's the word, song so far in terms of structure, but still definitely Yard Act, still just brilliant, just really good. I don't really know what else to say.
Really, really good. Definitely gotta go and catch them live.
Yes, for many reasons, which I guess we'll cover on later. Yeah, cool. Next one. We have Deep Valley, Deep spelled with an A, D-E-A-P, Deep Valley, and Jenny Lee, of Warpaint fame, Jenny Lee Lindbergh, and the song Look Away. Now, have we listened to this, boys?
I have. I thought it was a good tune. I don't have much to say on it, so I'll let you carry on with it. Yeah. But I thought it was a good tune, but the bass line reminded me of New Song.
Why the fuck did you say let me carry on then?
No, after me. After me.
After me.
You know what? The bass line reminded me of New Song by Warpaint. I'm aware she is from Warpaint. but it just sounded, whether or not it was in the same key, but it just sounded very similar. Yanni, you can now talk.
Thanks, son. I was disappointed by the song, to be honest. So I'm glad you let me speak. Yeah, I was excited when I saw Jenny Lee was attached to it. I know this is like the only song that she's going to be on from this album or EP, whatever it is that they're releasing. Deep Valley, I mean now. But they have got other artists that are also of high profile featuring on some of the songs, if I remember correctly when I looked. But yeah, I was hoping for something a bit more than what was actually delivered, unfortunately.
Yeah, it didn't. It was fine. Like I thought, I kind of similar to what you just said, Callum, and I don't really have much more to add. I would say that I also got a bit of a Warpaint vibe. It seemed like I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is the most kind of Warpainty thing I feel like I've heard for a while, like new thing. Definitely more so than Jenny Lee's solo stuff. But
what's that song by Jenny Lee that I know, Jan?
Never.
That's a great tune.
Is that a solo song?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's quite shoegazy.
Okay.
Kind of. You probably won't like it.
Yeah, probably not. And that's, I think, enough on that one. On to things we don't like. Weezer.
All our least favourite songs.
Yeah. Weezer in their song, all my favourite songs. It's just, it's so bland. It's just so bland. It's like well written and it's got a good chord progression, but it's very basic and it's just not that interesting. And I'm sick of him singing about just stupid things. Like his favourite songs. I don't care anymore.
But they always wrote about stupid things.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sick of it. That's what I'm saying. like I'm aware. Today I flicked through a few songs from. I've mentioned this before. These two albums before, Blue Album, Pinkerton, and great songs, and they are all about stupid things in one way or another. Apart from In My Garage, that is practically gospel. But like, I'm just sick of it. Just like you can't. I just don't need it. I just don't need it.
It's not bad, but it's most certainly not good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like he can't not be a good songwriter. If that makes sense. Like he is a very good songwriter, I'd say. And the band are good at writing songs. But there's just no need for it.
Yeah. Talking of bands that have most certainly hit their peak,
Yeah.
we have Foo Fighters
with this song.
With Waiting on a Wall.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a good song to be released by Foo Fighters, more like. Yeah,
It got a bit more excited at the end, but very minimally excited. I think the distortion pedal came on, and that was probably
middling at best, I would say.
They're even doing their like live streams now, and they're even making their old songs sound fucking boring. Like times like these, which is a bop. It's like it's just so boring to listen to now because it's him and some guy playing like a synth keyboard which sounds like an organ for like I don't know 4 minutes practically, and then at the end the full band come in, and even though it's kind of exciting when the full band come in, why would you make a song that's so good as times like these and then just make it more dull?
Yeah.
So
it's interesting you say that because I think The Pretender came on the other day for me, and it got me thinking: have Foo Fighters ever been good?
Yeah.
I love The Pretender, and I love Times Like These and Monkey Wrench and all the good ones. But are they?
So you're admitting?
No, but are they?
Been.
But it got me thinking: are they actually that good? I don't know. Like,
yes.
All these would Waiting on a War have been that song if it was released back then with the same nostalgia? I don't feel like it's that different.
No.
No, it is though. There's not that excitement because their last album, Concrete Gold, had Run on, which was a great tune. As soon as I heard that, I was like, "Fuck it, yes!"
That's like a metal tune.
Exactly. And
it's
then
great.
There's another song off that one as well, which I can't for the life of me.
Sky is a Neighborhood. I hope it's not that, because that's
no, it wasn't that.
Shit.
The line I quite like that good.
So
you're wrong essentially.
But this song's bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Undeniably.
Sorry. It's just not good.
Bad.
There was something about it
it's
that
It's very bad.
reminded me of Nirvana, but I don't know why. I don't know.
Is it the fact that
I think there was
Dave Grohl was in Nirvana?
no.
What? Dave Grohl was
No,
Nirvana?
there was some
What?
kind of some chord progression somewhere. Don't know. I forget about it.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I've
just
already
not
forgot
interesting.
about that song.
Yeah, just not interesting. On to the next one. We have a remix of the Fontaines DC song "A Hero's Death" by Soul Wax. Soul Wax. Did either of you
Right.
listen to this?
No, sorry.
Callum?
I listened to a bit of it and I got very bored.
Oh.
However, I must say, I've seen Soul Wax live and fuck me, they were fucking class.
Okay, thanks.
Move on.
Callum.
Fuck him.
I quite like this. I think it's actually I often find with remixes of like rock songs or whatever you want to describe this as, punk songs, that the vocals never work. Typically, they never work. And I've actually quite found, although when it first starts, because he's got quite a unique vocal style, it's quite abrasive at first. It actually works quite well.
I'm currently listening to it, and yeah, I quite like
Yeah,
this.
for once,
It's good.
the vocals and the tune that's put behind it are in the same key. That's one thing that seems to never happen, and the words are lined up properly, and the music itself, what Soulwax has put into it's really good. And I like Fontaines DC anyway, so I think it works really well.
I think it works because he repeats himself a lot, and
Yes.
it's dance music essentially.
Yep.
So
His
that
delivery,
automatically happens.
and his kind of repetitiveness and stuff really somehow
Works.
lends to this kind of
Yeah.
music very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quite like that, actually. I was quite impressed with that. Oh,
Now-
Callum, have you ever listened to Fontaines DC?
I like A Hero's Death, which I know is your least favourite from
How do
their album.
you know that?
Because it's almost like we're friends and we talk.
He listens to you, mate.
when have I ever said that?
I feel like
On a previous pod, maybe a practice.
I don't
one.
feel like we've ever talked about them. That's the only reason I asked, because I don't actually know if you like them or not.
I'm pretty sure you've told me that somewhere.
Maybe at one point it was.
Because
I don't
You
understand
really
that.
like the first album. You really like the first album, and I think I might have messaged you saying, "Oh, I really like A Hero's Death," because I wasn't really a big fan of the
I
first.
think when it was released as a single, I wasn't a massive fan of it. So yeah, I since quite like it. Within the album, because there are other songs that aren't as good, so kind of boosts it up.
Fair enough.
Okay, on to the next one. Callum, you walk us through this
Please
one.
don't. No,
Okay,
it's
so
shit. I don't want
It's
to.
Billie Eilish feat Rosalia with Lovata Olvidor. Short that. I'm
Okay.
pretty 100% certain that's how you pronounce it. For the
It's
TV
for Euphoria,
show.
the TV show. Yeah, it's shit.
Okay.
Not the show. I watched a bit of the show. It was alright. Purely for Zendaya, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It's just a song shit. I don't want to talk about
Okay.
it.
I didn't listen to this. Yanni, did you listen to this?
Of course, I didn't listen to it, mate. No.
Okay, cool. Next
Just move on. Move on. Shit.
Move along.
we have the
on.
song Skengman by Getz and Stormzy. Doesn't quite have the same ring, does it? Skeng.
I put this on purely to hear
Skengman.
you say Skengman.
Skeng.
It's alright, isn't it?
It's alright.
Is it?
It's alright. Like, there's nothing.
The third, so I guess it's Getz that does the first verse, then Stormzy, and then Getz comes in again, I think, and just sounds really
okay.
bad.
I don't like Getz's flow
I didn't
delivery,
like
his
his
voice.
flow, his voice at all.
Yeah, doesn't gel with me.
Yeah, I thought the hook. I was gonna say chorus. I guess not chorus. The hook is fine. It just says Skeng. Skengman. Fine.
Skeng.
Wicked Skengman.
Next one up on the list, we have Japanese band Chai and their new song Action. Callum, I heard that song and I see the shake of that head.
Yep. No.
You ever listened to Chai before?
Nope.
Okay. Yanni, have you listened to
Don't come to me.
Okay.
Father,
Okay,
please.
I will speak.
Not okay.
I've listened to Chai. I quite liked both of their first two albums, Pink and Punk. But before this, they were all female band. And
That's why Callum hates them.
yeah, I knew that. That's exactly what I thought. I don't know why I thought to mention that. I'm trying to go through it in my head what I'm actually trying to say here. A band. They're a band that play instruments, okay? Typical rock band stylio kind of thing. Whereas this song is a lot more like electronic. Not electronic.
What, the other songs are quite like rocky.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to it right now, and this is like the complete.
It's completely
opposite
different.
of-
It's completely different. But I really quite
it.
like this. I quite liked it.
I like this. Apart from the female vocal, I don't like how how high it is.
It's hard to get used to. It's very.
Yeah.
They're all obviously native Japanese speakers, and a lot of the lyrics and stuff on the first two albums, they sing in Japanese quite a lot. But
I don't mind
also
that. It's just.
but also sing in English, and it's very badly translated half time, which is quite funny, I think, most of the time, and you can kind of try and work out what they're saying, what they actually mean. But yeah, I guess when very strong Japanese accent when she's singing English, which kind of is a bit something to get used to, I guess. But I liked it, but it's definitely different to their old stuff. Definitely.
Okay.
And that's that.
Moving on.
2 more.
Moving on. We have.
Hope you're still with us.
Please, hold on. The song. What? Are you doing this, Callum? Yanni and I are doing this right now.
I'm not
Doing
doing
what? Oh no, I'm not. Dry January, mate.
Oh, Yanni's not. Sorry. Drinking on a school night. He's a little liar.
it. Cheers.
By the band Gone Dogs. Assume you pronounce it that way. Thoughts?
I quite liked it. Thought it was quite good. I thought it was a bit too long. The outro, I turned it off before the outro ended. But yeah, I quite liked it. It's on. I've added it to a playlist. I only heard it once, but it entertained me. So you can ask for, I suppose.
It is.
That's all I can ask for.
That's me done.
Thanks, Colin. I liked it too. I don't really have much more to say to that. I've only listened to it once.
Yanni, enlighten us as you're listening to it now.
I'm not actually. I
Oh,
tried
wow.
to get it to play, but it won't load.
Oh, well.
Yanni has nothing to say on this one.
So
Okay.
I don't have anything.
I recommend you
Good
listen to
tune,
it.
though.
It's quite good.
Yeah. And lastly, we have Club Sabbath by Baby Strange. Now, I believe, Yanni, we have seen Baby Strange.
I have too.
Yes.
Did they support Jamie T?
Yes.
Yeah, because they covered Young Folks, didn't they?
That was it.
Yeah.
What a mental kick that was.
It was
I
mental.
also saw them. Not with you two.
No
Did
one
you?
cares.
At
Liam.
Leeds Festival.
You what?
When was that? 2014, maybe.
Wow. Time has
Back,
passed.
and I feel like they haven't really done anything since around then. I think I saw they put an album in 2016, but
So they have that.
but not for a few years at least. But I guess they must have been pretty fresh when I saw them. I remember them being like the name being bandied around a bit in like Enemy and stuff at the time. So I went to go and see them.
And that was the last time anyone read Enemy.
Yeah, it probably was around the same time. I had a load of those articles stuck up on the wall. But I saw some of their set at Leeds all the way back then, not 7 years ago almost, and they covered Psycho Killer. It's really good.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Qu'est-ce que
It
c'est?
was really good.
Oh, fucking hell.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Yeah, it was really good. It was better than what I heard of all their own stuff. I'm guessing.
Well, to be fair,
same
if
with
you're
Young
covering
Folks.
Talking Heads, that's going to be... Yeah,
Well,
Young Folks
to be
was
honest,
the highlight of that.
I did feel like Young Folks was the highlight of their set when we saw them as well.
Yeah, they were good at doing Psycho Killer. The crowd were loving it. This song, middling at best.
Yeah, it's alright.
Meh.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what they do. Like I mentioned, they've been gone for a few years. Maybe not since 2014.
Maybe they haven't. We don't know anything about them.
5 years.
No.
The last album came out in 16, so it's been about 5 years. So we'll see.
But anyway, I am bored of this section, so it's time to move on to the album spot.
It's not yet.
It's not. It's certainly not.
It's
It's
certainly
not.
not, is it?
No.
It's definitely not.
Not when you announce it like that as well.
That was
Christ.
awful. Trying to rush ahead and you're just creating a bad quality
I'm on a
product.
different page to you.
Well,
so I
He's
have
go
on
to-
over
a
it.
wavelength,
Before we
bro.
move on, we're going to talk about 2 videos that have gone up over the last week of performances. We talked about one a couple of weeks ago or was it last week? A couple weeks ago?
No, a couple of
A
weeks.
couple weeks ago. DIY and the State 51 Conspiracy are presenting Hello 21, a series of performances by a number of bands. This week we had Deep Tan, Yard Act, and headlining was Sinead O'Brien. Yanni, have you seen any of this?
No.
Okay, Callum, what are your thoughts?
Yes. I have only seen Yard Act and Sinead O'Brien. Sorry, Deep Town, but just didn't have time. My thoughts mirror the first performance that had Oscar Lang and Courtin and someone else. I think the bands sound phenomenal. I think the setup is very good. I'm going to mirror my thoughts about Yard Act again and say they are extremely exciting, and it turns out they're very good live. Because you told me a little anecdote about how they got together and that they hadn't performed live
I thought
together.
they hadn't performed live and they got together during lockdown. I think they may have got together just before and managed to get a couple gigs in, maybe. But they're still pretty fresh.
Everything is a lie.
They're still pretty fresh
everyone.
gigging wise anyway. Some of those songs they haven't gigged. Well, most of them, I guess.
Yeah. But they played 4 songs, the 4 they've released. Fantastic. Sinead O'Brien was someone that I hadn't heard of before, and really liked. I thought it was interesting, a bit different. Her delivery is very strange, but that really appealed to me. But if you, I mean, I can imagine a lot of people won't like it, but they're wrong. So very good.
I would mirror your sentiments on the quality. I think it's a very good showing. I quite like them this one. I don't think they did this on the last one where they show like little snippets before and after of like them getting like a little photo shoot done and stuff. Don't know if you saw it.
Oh no, they didn't.
Thought it was kind of cool. I watched all 3 today. I watched your doc yesterday when it came out, and then I watched all 3 today. Was it yesterday? Day before? Whenever. Doesn't matter. Deep Tan. First of all, we're all right. Next up, I kind of liked it at first. I kind of liked it at first. I was getting into it, and then I didn't love a vocal style, and I don't know, it didn't do an awful lot for me. I think mostly the vocals that put it down for me, really, and the lyrics. I think possibly not English native. There was some French going on. Anyway, that's irrelevant.
Oh, that tickles my fancy.
Next up was Yard Act, as you mentioned. Now, I was interested to see how they would perform certain songs live, and they started off with Fixer Upper, if I remember rightly, and obviously
hello there.
And I was very interested to know how they got live and how how good it would sound, how it would translate to a live performance, and the answer is very well. And like, you really get into it and turns it into a live performance in a way that I wasn't sure of. But yeah, it sounded really good. Even like the monologue in Peanuts and when they came back into that was really good. Hearing Dark Days for one of the first times, essentially, because it's only recently been released in that setting, was cool. And I don't, Trapper's Pelt's probably my least favourite song, but again, that sounded really good. But they're kind of a weird band. I feel like the guitarist at least looks like he doesn't fit in the band. And in terms of like guitar style and stuff as well, and you kind of watching them, almost doesn't fit, but works really well. Like, they're a band that could work well just with a bass player and a drummer, but the guitarist adds so much, and definitely it was worth being there. If you think about it, it just seems good. And then
and we've hit the hour mark, ladies and
gentlemen. And then Sinead O'Brien, very weird delivery. I wasn't expecting it. It really took me off guard. Knocked me off guard, whatever that phrase is.
Took you by surprise.
Took me by surprise. But I liked it too. Music, the guitarist is really good. Whoever a guitarist is was very good.
They should have been there, unlike the Yard Act.
Yeah, definitely.
Guitarist.
Because it was only a guitarist and a drummer with Sinead O'Brien. There was no bass player. But he did some great work.
That's a sin.
Yeah, it is. But no, he did a great job, and her vocals are very interesting. I did get used to it, and I really liked it. But then I noticed that every song had very similar kind of vocal patterns in the delivery, which it kind of started to...
kind of negates the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
When it's every song.
When you kind of read each song the same. But like the kind of lyrics and stuff, and it was very interesting in her delivery. The way she phrases sentences and lyrics and stuff, Interesting. So I think I'll listen to more Sinead O'Brien in the future. That's enough of me rambling on. We have one more live performance video to talk about, which only I watched in full, so I will get through this very quickly, I'm sure.
We'll round it up
Please
in
do.
20 minutes.
The band Shame, their album Drunk Tank Pink is our album spotlight this week, which we'll talk about very shortly. They did a live performance of, I think, 5 or 6 of their songs, and kind of, for anyone that had pre-ordered the album, we got like a little link to go and watch it. Did like a little acting bit beforehand and after, which was kind of funny, and the performance of those songs was really good, and very much looking forward to seeing them live. But that was called
Yes.
Live in the Flesh. It was funny, it was good, and yeah, long live Shame. Now, talking of shame,
Well, are we in the land already? Can you see the light?
I can see the shores.
Or is it
I can see the show.
very close up to your face?
It's pretty close.
Oh no, I'm blinded by it.
Yep.
It's so bright. It's almost like it's a spotlight. Oh. Ah.
Album spotlight.
Hello, everyone. People listening at home or wherever you
Hi,
are.
Yanni.
Even if it's not your home, why are you in someone else's home? Are you trying to rob from them?
There's
Regardless,
a lockdown, don't you know?
It's illegal.
there's a spotlight here to guide you through your misdeeds. It's the album spotlight, everyone. And this week, we're listening to Drunk Tank Pink by the band Shame. And I can tell you, for one, it certainly wasn't a shame that I had to listen to this album.
Hey.
Boy, is it good. Am I right?
Bingo.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Someone
Very,
else
very
can
good.
speak now. I've had enough.
I'll go first because I feel like Liam is more of a fan than me.
I would say I've
Maybe-
listened to more beforehand. Yeah.
Okay, well, that one then. I remember my uncle Andrew put me onto Shame before Songs of Praise was released, and I really liked a few of the singles. But the album, for one reason or another, just didn't resonate with me. So before this album was released and we decided to do it for the pod, I wasn't really excited for the release. Boy, was I wrong. Fuck
Wow.
me, it's fantastic.
Fuck him.
I'm coming around right now. Not really. It's illegal.
Yeah, it is. I was just about to get the butter out as well.
Margarine, you mean? Come on. I'm
Olive
not an
spread,
animal.
actually.
Oh,
I'm the
olive
butter.
trees.
Olive
I'm the
spread.
butter, Liam's the margarine.
Okay.
Oh.
I think this is a massive improvement on Songs of Shame. And honestly, I don't have enough superlatives for how good this album is.
Fucking hell.
That's a big word.
Words?
That's a big word.
I know. Thank you.
Wow.
My favourite tracks, I'm going to shock you here, are all of them.
Oh.
I know. If I had to be super picky, Human for a Minute was probably my least favourite, but I'm still a big fan of that. And
Ooh.
based on facial expressions, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
However, it's my opinion.
It's wrong.
And honest to God, this is the best album I've heard since we birthed the concept of Fools on a Hill.
Wow.
Without
Tremendous imagery. Thank
Wow.
you.
a single
Powerful.
shadow of a doubt. I feel like we've all pre-ordered it.
I have
Well,
it.
we've all ordered
I
it.
had
online.
pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Yep, and we've all bought tickets to go and see them live
We have.
in
You two
November
fucking right
of
boy.
2071. So that'll
Yeah.
be fun.
Can't
Something
wait
to
for
look
that.
forward to.
Might take our
Um,
grandchildren with us.
Yeah, but I just like to say, okay, Liam. Born in Luton is an amazing track, and I can imagine it is going to be up there all year as one of, if not my favourite track of 2020.
I'd like to say on that note, Fantano, you're very wrong.
Very wrong.
Yes, Fantano. Oh, I was going to make a joke about liking it beforehand and then watching his video and then realising I hate it, but you know, like some people in his comments do.
Yeah, yeah.
You could have made that joke instead of just telling us what the joke was.
Well, I'd already told you that I loved Born in Luton, so I couldn't really, could I?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
prefer to hear what a joke would have been rather than
Yeah,
the joke.
rather than the actual
Every
delivery.
time.
Well, I have a story about. I have a story on that one.
Okay, we'll move swiftly on from that one before he gets stuck again. But yeah, I just love it, and I think it's going to sound even better live. And yeah, I'm a massive fan. Moving on.
Thank you, Colin.
You must select a next contender.
Should I go first? Next.
Go on.
Yeah,
Then.
get out of the way.
Okay, so as aforementioned, I've listened to more.
There he goes. That's another one off your bingo
That's
card.
another one. I've listened to most Shame out of us three here. I'm probably was the biggest.
And I have
fan.
the most shame.
Yes, I'm full of shame. Just straight up, this is better than their first album.
Yeah,
It's easy for me to say.
100%.
I didn't listen to their first album much, to be fair. There's a few singles I liked, but wasn't a huge fan. But this is better. So from the singles that came out,
Thanks, Liam.
the singles that came out started with Alphabet, then Water in the Well, then Born and Luton Live, which was actually from the Live in the Flesh, and then it was Snow Day. Is that right? And then Nigel Hitter. That order.
Uh-huh.
Alphabet, I wasn't really into when it first came out. Water in the Well, actually I think it's Born and Luton next. Really liked. Water in the Well, wasn't really into. And the rest I kind of liked afterwards. Coming back to it, I think Water in the Well is one of my favourites. Born and Luton is probably my favourite. I really loved Human for a Minute. I think it's the slowest, I think, probably of all tracks. And I think it fits really well, and it's a really nice break, and it just sounds great. I just think it's stupendous. The full album is just brilliant. It's really good, and I really can't wait to see it live. Yeah, I think they've matured so much from that first album. I say matured; they are our age.
Younger.
They did a live stream the other day, and the singer said he's a 97 baby.
Oh, okay.
So he's
So I'm
at least
younger than him. I feel okay.
So Callum, at least you, because you are obviously a bit later on than I am, you're definitely most likely younger than he is.
Well, there's still 20 odd days after me. So.
Potentially, yeah. So he could still be younger than you, but he's a 97 baby.
Could.
But yeah, I think still anyway, the maturity from the first album to this is evident. Musically, I just think it's brilliant. The drummer is a machine, which is evident again.
It's a human too, Liam. I think you'll find.
Human for a minute. In that live,
Oh.
thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. From that Live in the Flesh video, he's just insane. Yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's already. I'd be shocked if we get to the end of this year and it's not mentioned in our albums of the year 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
think
there are
that's
10
pretty safe
whole
assumption.
albums that are better than this year is going to
It's gonna be a
be
good year.
a good year.
Phenomenal.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Oh,
Berry Cherry. Thanks, Liam, for
Very, very
Thank you,
introducing
Yanni.
me as the next speaker.
Yanni,
Thank you.
please tell us your thoughts.
I also love this album. Because of one thing or another, I always don't get the chance to listen to everything when we record the podcast. So every time a single has been released, I've really not been able to listen to it. So this is practically my first time hearing everything. And it's all phenomenal. And I'll just get the bad one out of the way. The only one I could do without, and I would skip it because it just doesn't do anything for me, is Station Wagon, the last song.
Oh, wow.
Just a bit
I think
too...
that's going to be amazing live.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all build up.
It is all
Um,
build up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit boring for me compared to how the rest of the album is anyway.
I do skip the end
um,
of Station Wagon, I would say.
There you go. A lot of the times reminds me of Idols in places. That being good Idols. And at times Parquet Courts, especially Nigel Hitter. That reminded me a lot of Parquet Courts. I think it's just the rhythms that they have that remind me. Standout Nigel Hitter, aforementioned. Bill, Born in Luton, phenomenal track. My favourite track off this album is Snow Day. I just have had that stuck in my head. It's unreal. As much as I agree that Bill is fantastic, Snow Day is by far my favourite one.
That is a great song.
I don't know, it's weird. It's just, at the end of it, the way it builds up to it, it's all amazing. And I remember when it was released, when we were recording the podcast, and hitting play on it, and because obviously it goes through like 5 different parts essentially as a song, I only got to like the first section, and then we had to start recording like immediately, so I didn't really hear the rest of it. But when it goes to like fall, and it's like really low down, and then it's like the really high guitar picky bit, bits, it's just fantastic.
Is
Considering
Snow
how
Day the one? Sorry, Jan. Is Snow Day the one that they said was their best song they've ever written?
yes, I remember that at the time. Someone
Yeah.
said that. Yep.
I think someone else said that about it. Someone that heard the album early.
Oh, fair enough then. Sorry, Jan. Carry
on. Yeah, I've done it again. I can't even remember what I was saying, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, it's a very good album. No, that was it. To say they are so young, it's a very mature album.
Yep.
I like you say, the drummer is fantastic. There wouldn't be half the band without that drummer. The amount of like different rhythms he has going on the songs is just incredible. He's fantastic. So yeah.
Sorry, have you done? I do recommend and anyone listening, if you get a chance in future to watch the Live in the Flesh video, I definitely gained more of appreciation for the guitarists as well and the bass player. Like, I feel when you can see what they're doing, it's a lot more interesting. They're like brilliant musicians. I also think something I meant to mention, the singer, the way he delivers some lines are just great and like so like punchy, and I'd say what are you laughing at?
It's the way you said the vocal singer.
I was going to say vocalist, but I changed around. Of all like kind of modern post-punk, whatever that means, I guess these kind of get lumped into it. I would say these are my favourite band, and he is the best deliverer of that style of singing, and that he does it the best, basically. I also want to say I'm interested. I was quite shocked that Station Wagon's Julie's favourite song. I think for me it was Great Dog. It's like a 2-minute track. Doesn't really do anything for me.
I like that because it's if I'm hang on, I'll quickly find out. Yeah, because it goes from Human for a Minute to Great Dog, and Human for a Minute, like you said, is quite slow. The abrasive change into Great Dog.
Yeah.
At first, I'm still undecided whether I like how different that is. But it's very good. I feel like it maybe could have been moved around in the order of where it's placed because, yeah, I don't like the sudden change. But I like that.
I do actually quite like the change. I like that you have that slow one and it's just kind of like, right, back into it. I actually I like the way that some of the songs go into each other. I think the way they've mixed that is really interesting.
Well, produced by James Ford, wasn't it?
Yes, James Ford produced.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
There you are.
I feel like James Mobile Disco Fame. James Ford, it's been mentioned by other bands that work with him, is a drummer's producer because he is a drummer himself. So I think it's helped a lot that he's worked with James since, like we've said before, the drummer is phenomenal. It's good that all his albums that he produces all sound different, because I feel like if you work with, we mentioned him on my album of the year, Rick Rubin, you kind of know when it's almost a Rick Rubin track, almost like you can almost tell. I think it's to do with like the snare sound. That's just me being musically gifted as compared to everyone else. But yeah, it's good. It's good that they've got such a great producer on their second album, and I'm excited to see what other doors that opens for them, because obviously he's worked with the likes of Arctic Monkeys, Foals, Florence and the Machine, Depeche Mode. I'm just reading the Wikipedia.
Brilliant. So,
yeah.
On that,
Liam,
on that note,
I believe you were talking.
Yes, I want to know what you guys are going to rate this out of 10.
Oh, don't you just?
I want to start with Callum.
It's very, very strong. Very, very respectable. 9 out of 10.
Yanni. Yanni.
Oh, Aren't we all dying to know?
Go on,
Hey,
go on.
Hey, I think the Range Boys are going to be a little bit sad this
Me
week.
too.
It's a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I feel warm inside. Oh,
Liam,
so tingly. Oh, I'm going to give
Liam,
it.
tell us, what is it?
Oh, it's going to
What
have
is it, Liam?
to, oh, it's going to have to be it. It's going to have to. It's a 9 out of 10. It's going to be a 9 out of 10. It's,
Wow.
it's very almost a 10 out of 10, I feel.
Yeah, almost, but
Almost.
not.
It's a very strong 9 out of 10. It's, yeah. I think I can't remember which one you just said it, but it's the best album we've looked at since doing this podcast.
Without a shadow of a
Carl
doubt.
said it, yeah. But yeah, it is, definitely.
And as I said, I think will probably be one of the best albums this year.
Like you said, if there's albums that are better than this that get released this year, then we're in for a fucking great year of music. Because this is just so good.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
So good.
I think it was nice for me personally, as someone that didn't love Viagra.
That's nice, Dan.
Someone who didn't love Viagra Boys' album last week, as someone who was very much looking forward to it, this made up for it massively. And this kind of did what I wish that album had done. And makes me appreciate this album more and not like that album more as well. Not that they should be the same, but there are things that this album's fantastic. So that gives us a
mode
of 9.
A medium
of 9.
A mean
of 9.
And a range.
I guess it's 0, is it? Yeah, 0.
The controversy. I cannot
there is no
believe
meaning.
it.
There's no range. So Range fans
there is no range to see.
That's upsetting for those Range fans out there, but just be glad of the fact that you have this album to listen to while you're crying over your low range.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
as I say every week,
cry yourself to sleep with this album.
I say every week, it's your own fault. Why are you a Range fan?
why
it's
would you
never
pick
good.
Range?
It's the highest we've had is probably like 3, maybe, if that.
Yeah,
2,
exactly.
probably.
It's never going to be good for you.
So
why have you changed from range to mean quickly?
Yeah, mean is almost always going to be the highest.
Oh no, sorry, mode. Mode's probably the best.
Not necessarily.
Yes. You know what? The next section we have for everyone here, it's like we described I described at the start of the podcast.
Sorry.
This one is going to be less in depth than usual because you can watch the video of these records that we are going to mention on our YouTube channel, which is entitled Fools on the Hill.
No, it's not.
On a hill.
No, it's not.
Fools the clip again.
On a hill.
Shall I hear the clip again?
Yeah. Falls on a hill. Let's have Liam's voice note playing right now of why it shouldn't
No,
be.
that's not.
No. But yes, so we're going to run through what we've got. But if you want to see them and if you want to laugh at us, particularly Liam, then please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, ding that bell, and like Cal, what have you got?
I've only got one this week. Sad times, but the sad times are very short-lived because what
Sad
I
time
have
never
got
last.
is a cassette this week. It's not a vinyl.
Oh, does it count? Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it anyway.
I'll let you.
because
I'll let you off.
It's from mine and Yanni's friend Reese Byrne. I don't know if
I do.
Liam knows
Yeah,
him.
I absolutely know him too. Yeah,
Yeah, Reese Whiteley.
I do remember his. Yeah,
He went to TED.
I absolutely know who he is.
essentially.
I've not kept in touch with
Yeah.
him at all, but I definitely
Well,
know.
so you're
who
not
he
his friend then, are you?
is. All right.
We
I didn't know
have
you were best chums with him either.
Mine and Yanni's friend and
Oh, all right.
Liam's acquaintance from 8
I
years
like
ago.
Reese.
Wow, that
Um,
long. Fuck me.
Was it that long?
Did not need to hear that.
Was it 8 years
8
ago?
years.
7? No.
Jesus, wept.
Well, I'm in my 4th year of uni. No, it's 7 years ago. I'm in my 4th year of uni. I had a gap year, and then I went to.
We left school at
We did
16.
A levels.
So
We did A levels.
it's
You
been
never finished, did you, Liam?
I finished school. Yeah, I did finish. I didn't finish full education. So go on. Tell us about Reese's cassette. Come.
Yes. Our mate
Yes.
Reese Byrne
Your mate.
released, some
Mhm.
demos on a cassette for a £5. I like the demos anyway, so
Mhm.
I thought, Reese always supports us. Why not
He
support him?
certainly does.
So I bought it £5 on a lovely turquoise cassette, which you can see on the aforementioned Fools on a Hill YouTube page. That's all I've got to talk about it on here because I've
Is it?
mentioned it there.
No, you've got.
No,
one
about that one.
Oh, right.
Can I
Okay.
just
About
quickly
it.
say,
No,
just because
No,
I
absolutely not.
didn't get this cassette, I have listened to a few of the demos.
that's why you're not his friend.
I didn't. I'm sorry. You know, I spent too much money on records this week. I can't really chip over a
Ooh.
cassette. Yeah, what I heard of his demos are really, really good. I really like the sound. But quite
Yeah.
old schooly. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
he's also released 2 tracks
Big
this
up,
week, which we probably should have mentioned in Hot the Press.
We could have, yeah.
But we'll put them in. We'll put them in our weekly playlist.
Oh.
Just
Okay.
for
Really?
shits and gigs. Yes, we
Okay.
can. And on a much more somber note, I had to return my John Lennon "Give Me Some Truth" double LP this week.
Do you want to tell us why you're going to say that for the YouTube vid?
I haven't mentioned it in the YouTube vid, so I'll tell you for why now. I bought it from Amazon because I'm a little sket.
Yeah.
Don't know why I said that.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
If that's offensive
fair.
to someone, I'm sorry, but I called it myself, so I don't
Offensive
see
to all
how
the
to do it.
scats out there.
I wanted it the next day. I was impatient, but I read a few reviews and it said that there was some playback issue. I read there's a little crack at the start of Instant Karma. That is what it said. A
Little.
crack. So I played it and I sent the video to the boys. And how would you define that little crack?
It sounds
I
like
would say it was
there's
cavernous.
it sounds like
a
there's an
cavernous
actual crack in the record.
Oh my god, it was so bad. So I went on Amazon live chat. They replaced it. I may as well have just returned it and bought a new one. What a faff that was. And then the replacement came and it was potentially worse than the first one. So I
Great.
just got my money back. I'm still waiting for the refund, but that's in process. So yeah,
Positive stuff.
sorry, but John would be turning in his grave.
Yeah, John will be very unhappy about that, I'm sure. I know what you thought about
Yeah.
Amazon and capitalism. Next up is
Liam.
me, I guess.
Yourself. Yes,
yes,
it's
Mr.
you.
Floppy Dong.
Floppy down.
That's Yanni's name
That's
on an unnamed
That's just
video
what you
conferencing
call me.
program we use. How much detail am I going in here? Just ringing through him?
What have you got?
Okay,
Tell us what you
I
got.
got this week. I got 2 pre-orders from Rough Trade that arrived together. One being the album Welfare Jazz by Viagra Boys, and Drunk Tank Pink, aforementioned by Shame. Yeah, they arrived in the same package from Rough Trade. Watch the video for more information. I'm not going to say that every time. That's the time I say it.
Great bit of promo.
I got Andy Schoff. I'm going to say Schoff. His album
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Neon Skyline, which if you haven't, go and listen to Album of the Years. But I'm going to spoil it anyway because I did spoil it in the video. I know I spoiled it in the video. Go and watch it in the video if you want to spoil it. But go and listen to the Album of the Year first. This is one of my top 10 albums of 2020. I got the album BED by Baxter Dury, Etienne de Créty, and Delilah Holiday. Big fan of Baxter Dury, and this is a great album with a couple other people in as well. And I also decided to pick up Viagra Boys' first album, Street Worms, which I prefer much more to the second album, and it's great. In terms of colours, should I quickly run through colours?
No, that's
No.
why we got
You said
visuals.
you had a teal cassette, so I wasn't sure whether I should.
Yeah, but it's a cassette. Just go.
Okay, so check out our video on YouTube. Is it called Under the Needle?
Yeah.
Is that they can look for it?
No.
No.
Type in Fools on a Hill podcast. We're going to give some clickbait shite titles because we
Great.
want to get views.
Yeah. It'll be the only
sure
one
that'll
that
give us
isn't
views.
entitled like podcast, basically.
People.
You'll see.
So-
We'll have a great clickbait thumbnail that is
Mugshot.
all open mouthed, catching flies, holding vinyl.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Yanni, what did you get?
Thank you, Liam. I purchased because it was on sale, very cheap. I think they were leftover record store day things, but I'll get into that in the video. Was Genevieve's covers of 2 tracks. I'm So Tired and Some Things Last a Long Time. I'm So Tired was a cover of Fugazi. Some Things Last a Long Time cover of Daniel
I
Johnston.
didn't know that.
Very well. There you
I
go.
quite like Fugazi. Might listen to that again.
Fugazi, eh?
Yay.
Hey, I'm walking it. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, they're very good. I talk about them more in the video, so please watch that, please. If I've not saw that already, go listen to it.
There is a video.
Watch it.
I don't know if anyone knows that.
Yeah, if anyone else
Like
mentioned.
and subscribe. The next one I got was Metronomy and Clara
Luciani.
LeBay and Le Grenade. Le Grenade, okay. Cover of The Bay, done by Clara, and Le Grenade is a joint effort, if I'm right.
I thought it was a Clara song and Metronomy have covered it.
Okay, well that could work.
That's what you said in the video, Jan.
Is it? Well,
I think they've covered each other's songs.
Makes sense. And the next one I got was So Solid Cruise 21 Seconds EP.
Nice.
It is wonderful. You'll see it, and I talk about the B-sides that it has on it and everything there. And then, like Cal, I also purchased Reese Burns' Demos EP cassette. Same colour, turquoise, although I did not know that at the time because I was and I still am colourblind to this day. As also, I am still Greek to this day. Still
we
Greek.
know that.
So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Yanni. Thank you so
everyone.
much for sharing that.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's all right.
And that.
Do you want to hit people with the?
I do. Yeah.
Next thing.
With the God song.
Did we already? Yeah, come on, hit them with the God song.
I want to hit people with some, just a bit of information, bit of an infomercial. First up, ready for next week, the Spotlight. I don't know what it is. What is it?
Didn't we pick the new Lonely the Brave album?
We did pick the new Lonely the Brave album, which
The
unfortunately
name escapes us.
the name does escape us. Maybe by the end I might leap back and cover that again. But in the meantime, make sure you follow us on our socials. Instagram, Facebook, it's Falls on a Hill Podcast. Twitter, it's Falls on a Hill Pod. YouTube, if you want.
It's called the Hope List. Sorry.
The Hope.
I tried
the
to get in
Hope
there while
List.
you weren't talking. Yeah.
Okay, so next week's album spotlight is Lonely the Brave's album, The Hope List. Yeah, follow us there. Check us out on YouTube, Falls on a Hill. Smash that like button. There will be video content up,
bell.
as Yanni said at the beginning. But the podcast will be staying in podcast form for best quality, and we'll have them up as well with a picture. Playlist will be available on Spotify when this is released.
If Liam can be asked.
Hopefully, I'm a little bit behind on that, but I'm sure no one cares because you can find the songs yourself. But I will do that. And on that note, anything from you boys?
Just a bye.
Just a big bye from me.
Just 3 big buys from 3 big boys. Good night, everybody.
Howdy.
See you next week.
Bye.
That's hello. Oh.
You say goodbye.
And I say
Hello.
howdy.